Hello, my name is Colin. I'm 27 years old. Today is July 6th, 2013. I am a former student of Professor Thomas, and I'm also part of the graduating class of 2004 at Breck School. And currently, I am about to begin my MBA program at Kellogg School of Management. And I recently quit my job in Chicago, Illinois, at a private equity institution in the financial services industry. When I met Professor Thomas, I had previously taken the ACT one time before, and I had gotten a 24. I was pretty distraught about that actually, because in my heart of hearts I knew I could do better. And I found Professor Thomas through my Breck network, and working with him, I think that it was kind of like a two-headed spear. And I got not only a mentorship from him, but I also learned a systematic strategy about how to dissect the actual ACT exam. And over the course of 3 additional tries of the ACT, I improved my composite score from a 24 to a 29. I was tremendously excited about that, and it ultimately got me into Yale University, where I eventually attended and completed my college degree. So the advice that I would give a current student, a high school student trying to take the ACT, and granted it's been 10 years since I've taken it, but it would be threefold. I think that the first point of advice would be never give up. And the thing I loved about the ACT was that you can take it as many times as you want until you achieve your goals. And I would say attack that thing with everything you've got, and don't let up until you actually achieve the score that you really truly believe you deserve. Number 2 would probably be that Professor Thomas preaches a systematic approach to the ACT. There's 5 sections, and when you approach them in aggregate, they can seem daunting. But if you actually approach your studying as well as the actual test, the exam, in itemized portions, you focus on the science, the math, and the English, you can actually remember the specific skills, the focus that you had from your studying, and you can get a better score on each section, which obviously accumulates to a better aggregate score. The third point that I would give to anybody trying to take the ACT right now is stay positive. You can take some practice tests, sections, or actual full exams, and you can actually take the actual ACT, and it might not be the score that you ultimately want to achieve, but that's not to say that you can't achieve it. And so I would say positivity is of the utmost importance. It was for me, and I definitely achieved my goal in the long run. The 3 words that I would describe Professor Thomas as would be charismatic. One, because the first time you meet him in a coffee shop or in the gym or wherever it happens to be, you're going to be connected to him no matter what. He just has a way with people. Number 2 would be he is highly motivated. And when I say motivated, he's not only motivated in himself, he's motivated to motivate you. And that's particularly important, especially when you take the ACT multiple times, because you can just get burdened with the amount of studying that goes along with it, on top of your studies in high school. And Professor Thomas definitely makes sure you're on task and you're focused and you do the homework no matter what. And that's actually a very, very important point to the overall process of getting or achieving a better score. The third characteristic I would give Professor Thomas would be passionate. And I mentioned this earlier, but he's always going to make sure that you stay positive, and he believes in you no matter what. So if you get a score that isn't what you were truly setting out to achieve, he's not going to just abandon you. He's going to work with you to elevate that score to what your goal was initially. And for me, that was one of the most impactful elements of my tutorship that I shared with Professor Thomas. So the only thing that I would add actually to this interview would be the added layer of Professor Thomas's program. I think the core of it is that Professor Thomas teaches his students through the program a way to take an overwhelming standardized test and attack it by systematically looking at individual portions of the exam and figuring out the best way for each individual to attack and focus on each portion systematically. And I think that is truly important to achieving the ultimate result of your goal as a composite score. For me, that was obviously a major contribution to the 5-point jump that I got from my initial score to my ultimate score. But I think that on top of that, his, as I said, passion and motivation that he instills in each student is it's infectious, and so for me the mentorship aspect of the program sings loudly, and I think that I'm a testament to that because it's been 10 years since I took the ACT, and I am currently in Thailand visiting Professor Thomas and reconnecting with him after all those years and talking about the ACT and going forward and figuring out the best way to achieve my goals in business school.